You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Brian Kelly kick-started what we hope is a recruiting hot streak over the weekend. Got a commitment from four-star running back Trey Holly out of Union Parish here in Louisiana. He was the most outstanding player in the 3A state championship game as a junior. He has rushed so far for 7,829 yards in 3 seasons and 108 touchdowns. He's on pace to break Nick Brissett's LHSAA career rushing and touchdown records. He averages 8.5 yards a carry so far in his career. So we've talked so much, and Brian Kelly has talked so much about recruiting the state of Louisiana, about keeping the best players in Louisiana or from Louisiana in Louisiana. And this is another example of that with Trey Holly. And so there's two things to keep in mind kind of whenever you look at the running back spot. Number one, it's, all right, who's going to be here in 2023 and how potentially will Trey Holly fit into what Brian Kelly and his staff want to do? So when you look at the running back position to begin with, of course, in 22, you'll have John Emery, Noah Kane, Trey Bradford, Armani Goodwin, and you'll have Josh Williams as well. So those right now kind of make up the core of your running back room. Realistically, John Emery is in his last year of eligibility. I guess he could use a COVID year. He could take another, but that's unlikely. You have Noah Kane, who could very well leave after this year as well for the draft. And then Bradford and Goodwin, we've already seen Trey Bradford transfer once to Oklahoma, then return. And Armani Goodwin came in a year ago, and depending on what opportunity might be there, we'll see if he even returns. Remember, Corey Kiner has already transferred out of that room because of the depth and the opportunity. So running back is one of those spots where you've absolutely got to recruit at least one running back in every cycle because of the nature of that position. So you look at Trey Holly. This is a guy at 5'8", 180 pounds, so a smaller running back. And he's right now the fifth commitment for the sixth commitment now for LSU's 2023 cycle. They got Mac Markway, the tight end, already committed for 2023. Ryan Yates, the safety out of Texas. Amarian Miller, the wide receiver out of Louisiana. Dalen Austin, cornerback out of California. Trey Holly, the running back, as we just mentioned. And then Michael Doherty, the safety out of Georgia. So those are the 6 that they have committed right now. Holly is very interesting to me. And again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you like I've studied his film and know about him stylistically. But what I do know is at 5'8", 180, he doesn't look like running backs that Brian Kelly has had at Notre Dame. When you run through the list, the one that actually most resembles Holly is Kyron Williams, the guy who just finished up at Notre Dame, 5'9", 199. You don't need to memorize this or anything, but just keep in mind the size of these backs. Tony Jones Jr., 5'11", 224. Dexter Williams, 5'11", 212. Josh Adams, 6'2", 225. Tarian Folston, 5'10", 214. CJ Prosai, 6', 220. George Atkinson III, 6'1", 220. Big backs. Brian Kelly has had big running backs at Notre Dame. He's not had the dude that's 5'8", 180. So it's interesting. And we'll learn this in time. I don't know the answer. None of us know the answer yet, but we'll learn it in time. Number one is this just a situation where that's one of the top 10 players in the state of Louisiana and you have got to keep the best players from your state in-state? Or maybe we see a shift with Mike Denbrock's influence. Do you have maybe the smaller, shiftier back? Now, 5'8", 180, he could be like Clyde when he puts on weight. He's got a really strong lower body and grows into that frame and develops more power. Could. We'll see in time. But it's going to be very interesting to watch, especially in 2022, how they use that stable of running backs they have. That could be sort of a glimpse into a window of how they plan to use a guy like Trey Holly moving forward. But Trey Holly becomes the 6th commit for LSU's 2023 class, pledging over the weekend of Brian Kelly and the staff. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.